Hi, this is Jerry, and I've got a question for you. Have you ever laughed at someone who had less than you? Or perhaps you've seen someone else do it? Well, welcome to Proverbs 17:5. King Solomon reminds us that every human, rich or poor, was created by the same God. So let me ask you, what would you do in this case? Imagine you're walking through a busy marketplace. An elderly beggar reaches out for a piece of bread. The wealthy merchant deliberately kicks over the beggar's clay pot, spilling a few coins that he had collected onto the dusty street. And the crowd bursts into laughter. Well, what would you do? Some people would just walk away. Would you laugh with the crowd? Would you ignore what had just happened? Or would you kneel down and help gather the coins and remind the man that God had not forgotten him? Here's my thoughts. One of the greatest mistakes that we can make is judging other people by what they own. Our world often measures success by wealth, your house, your car, your education, or even how popular you are. But God measures something entirely different. He looks at our heart. King Solomon teaches us that something should stop everyone in their tracks. When we mock someone because they're poor, we're really mocking the God who created them. Every person carries the image of their Creator. Whether someone sleeps in a palace or under a bridge, their value comes from God and not from their bank account. Now, the second half of this verse gives another warning. It says that whosoever rejoices when disaster strikes another person will not go unpunished. Now, there's something inside human nature that can secretly enjoy watching another person fail. God says that attitude has no place in the life of someone who is seeking wisdom. Compassion is always wiser than cruelty, and mercy is always stronger than pride. There was a successful businessman who stopped at a gas station on a cold winter morning. Outside sat an old homeless man holding a cardboard sign just asking for food. As the businessman walked by, a few teenagers were laughing at the man and imitating the way he spoke. But the businessman stopped. He paused. Instead of joining the laughter, he invited the homeless man inside, and he bought him breakfast and simply listened to his story. The man had once owned a small construction business. A serious illness had taken everything he had away. As they finished eating, the businessman said quietly, "Today I almost walked past you. Instead, God reminded me that before we're rich or poor, we're His children." Years later, that simple act of kindness was still remembered by both men. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give is reminding someone they still have dignity. Now, there's benefits to listening to this proverb. When we honor every person that God created, we develop a compassionate heart. We become people others will trust. We reflect God's character. We build strong communities. We discover the joy of generosity instead of pride. And more importantly, we honor the Creator by honoring His creation. Now, there's problems when you don't follow this proverb. When we look down on others, pride quietly starts to grow. Compassion begins to disappear. Relationships become very shallow, and our hearts grow hard. Eventually, we forget that every blessing we have came from God in the first place. A proud heart is always one step away from a painful fall. A little boy asked his grandfather, "Grandpa, are we rich?" And the grandfather smiled and he says, "Well, we have a roof over our head, food on the table, people who love us, and Jesus in our hearts." And the little boy grinned and he says, "So we're rich. We're richer than I thought." You see, sometimes children understand wealth better than adults do. So let me leave you with this challenge for today. Notice someone who is often overlooked. Offer them a smile. Speak a kind word to them. Hold a door for them, or even buy them a meal. Or simply treat somebody or someone with dignity that they really deserve. And remember, kindness costs very, very little, but it can change someone's entire life. So let me leave you with this closing thought. Every person you meet has been handcrafted by God. Never allow wealth or clothing or education or position to determine someone's value in your eyes. The ground is level at the foot of the cross. Treat every person with the honor that's due someone who was created in God's image. Because when we honor people, we honor their Creator. So live with the wisdom of Proverbs and have a great day.